Have you ever wondered what sets the world's most successful people apart from everyone else? Think of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates. Beyond their incredible wealth, they share a common trait. They are masters in their respective fields. They have honed the ability to learn and adapt faster than anyone else. In this video, we're diving deep into their secrets and revealing how you can apply these powerful techniques to learn anything at lightning speed. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to transform your learning process and unlock your full potential. You've probably found yourself struggling to remember important information, while trivial details seem to stick effortlessly. There's a reason for this. Our brains are wired to prioritize information that has meaning and relevance. Elon Musk, a pioneer in technology and space exploration, emphasizes the importance of assigning meaning to what we learn.
In order to remember something, you must assign meaning to it. Just say, like, why is it relevant? And if you can say why something is relevant, you probably will remember it. Your brain is basically constantly trying to forget everything as much as possible because it's hard to store memories. Just
things
naturally,
you care about.
Yeah, it's
right?
like most of the stuff that we see and hear is like not worth remembering.
To truly grasp and retain new knowledge, it's crucial to understand the why behind it. When you establish a clear purpose or connection to the information, your brain recognizes its importance and stores it more effectively. Practically, you can think about how this new piece of information can relate to something you're passionate about. For instance, if you're learning about financial management and you love gaming, try comparing budgeting to managing resources in a game. This connection makes the information more engaging and easier to remember. Find ways to tie new knowledge to your personal experiences or future goals. If you're learning a new language, imagine yourself using it on a dream vacation or in a professional setting. This personal connection transforms abstract information into something tangible and meaningful. Suppose you're studying history and need to remember important dates and events. Instead of rote memorization, try associating these dates with significant moments in your own life or with current events. For example, if you're learning about the signing of the Declaration of Independence, imagine what your life might have been like during that time, or how you would have felt witnessing such a monumental event. Moving from the concept of assigning meaning, another powerful method to enhance your memory is through visualization. Jordan Peterson, a renowned psychologist and professor, advocates for the use of the memory palace technique, an ancient method for retaining vast amounts of information by converting it into vivid images and placing these images in a familiar mental space.
You sit and you imagine might be a place that you know, like a geographic place, a house. And then you can place the things that you remember. Imagine you walk through the house. You can place the things that you want to remember at different locations in the house. But you have to turn what you're remembering into an image. And then you can walk through the house and you can lift things up and find what it is that you're trying to remember. And so that's how I remember things.
This technique taps into our innate ability to remember visual and spatial information far more effectively than abstract concepts. Practically, you could start by choosing a place you know well, such as your home, your office, or even a favorite park. This will be your memory palace. Imagine walking through this space in your mind. As you do, associate each piece of information you need to remember with a specific location or object within this space. For instance, if you're trying to memorize a grocery list, picture your kitchen. As you mentally walk through it, imagine placing milk on the kitchen counter, eggs in the fridge, and bread in the pantry. Each item becomes part of the visual landscape, making it easier to recall later. The more vivid and unusual the images you create, the better your memory will hold on to them. Instead of just picturing a book you need to read, imagine a giant book that opens up and speaks to you. The strangeness and vividness of this image will make it stand out in your memory. To solidify this technique, try using it daily. Begin with your to-do list for the day, mentally placing each task in a different room or area of your house. Over time, you can expand to using your memory palace for more complex information, such as study material or speech outlines. Building on the idea of using visual memory techniques, Another powerful strategy to enhance learning is to ask yourself how you can visualize the information. This approach is championed by Naval Ravikant, an esteemed entrepreneur and philosopher. For context, Naval holds the Guinness World Record for memorizing the longest sequence of objects in 1 minute, achieving an impressive 59 objects in Kathmandu, Nepal.
And also, just like I told you with the outline method, you can cover up the branches of one of the branches, and then you can recall, okay, what are the key points, what are the key lines on this thing, and then you can slowly reveal and see whether you're getting it right or wrong.
When you ask this question, you prompt your brain to find creative ways to make the information more tangible and memorable. Visualization not only aids in understanding complex concepts, but also helps in establishing strong mental connections. Whenever you encounter new information, try to form a mental image that represents the concept. This could be a literal image or a symbolic representation. The key is to make the image vivid and detailed. This is very similar to the memory palace. Sometimes complex information is best visualized through diagrams or mind maps. These tools allow you to break down information into smaller, more manageable parts and show the relationships between them. Like when studying for an exam, create a mind map of the key topics. Start with the main subject in the center and branch out to subtopics, adding details and examples along the way. This visual organization helps in seeing the big picture and understanding how different pieces of information connect. If you prefer a more hands-on approach, sketching can be an effective way to visualize information. Drawing out concepts, even in simple forms, can reinforce your understanding and memory. For example, when learning a new concept in science, such as the structure of an atom, draw it out. Sketch the nucleus, electrons, and their orbits. This not only helps in memorizing the structure, but also in understanding its function and significance. As we reach the final and perhaps most crucial point in our journey to learning anything fast, let's revisit the insights of Naval Ravikant. Naval's wisdom on focusing on output over input can transform the way you approach learning.
For true mastery, you need to focus more on the output rather than the input. You need to focus more on the output rather than the input.
Naval's philosophy is simple yet profound. Absorbing information isn't enough. You must put it into practice. Being an output person means that the true measure of your learning lies in how well you can apply it. Let's break down his philosophy. Focus on what you can produce with your knowledge. This shift in mindset encourages you to move beyond passive learning to active creation and application. Whether it's writing, coding, designing, or any other form of output. The act of creating solidifies your understanding and reveals gaps in your knowledge. This formula states that when you are in the learning phase, make sure your input is of the highest quality. Avoid multitasking. Devote your full attention to the material. This means setting aside distractions and immersing yourself completely in what you're learning.
People are learning these days, what do? They do multitasking. That's the reason why my suggestion is, if you are learning something, at least for the time you're learning, you should be doing not multitasking, but the exact opposite of it, which is single tasking.
After learning, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself critical questions. How can I use this information? Where does it fit into my current projects or goals? This reflection bridges the gap between theory and practice, ensuring that you see the relevance of what you've learned. The final step is application. Without putting knowledge into practice, you risk falling into the trap of the illusion of competence. This is when you think you understand something because you've read about it, but you can't actually do it. Applying your knowledge solidifies it and transforms it into true competence. Their message is clear. With the right techniques, you can master anything swiftly. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss an update.